That doesn't mean I don't do a list and then double check a couple things.
No, I get it. It's just that I forget to double check it because I'm like, okay, I got the list done. All right, I got to go do something else. Hey folks, welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And this is our bottom 5. That is to say our numbers 10 through 6 abstract strategy games. What exactly is an abstract strategy game? I've got you. On BGG, if you go to a game that you think is abstract strategy and you have, and in their category listings, if it says abstract strategy, you can click on that and it brings up its own page of what an abstract strategy game basically is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. These were the 6 characteristics that an abstract strategy game more often than not will include. It doesn't have to be all of these, but it'll have these in some variety. First of all, it has it should be themeless, and
Pretty much, yeah.
I actually that's the one on this that's questionable for me. Second, no storyline.
Agreed.
Third, simple, straightforward design mechanisms. So it's like you only have a certain number of things that you can do, and
Okay.
and then the next one is that it has perfect information.
Yes, and no luck.
And that was the last one, little to no elements of luck or chance, and then it's competitive.
Yep. Okay.
Usually.
Yeah,
Those are the
like
things
that.
usually. And I will say that I agree with these generally speaking. I just think that if there's a slight variation to how much each of these are put in there,
Sure.
it makes for a better abstract strategy game in my opinion. Like for example, you can take a game that has 5 of these and slap a theme onto it.
Except for theme, so I agree with everything except for the theme part. I think as soon as you put theme in it, it is no longer abstract. It is a strategy game at that point. As soon as theme jumps in, the abstract is gone. The whole point of the word abstract means that there's just a rule set of parts and pieces.
I get it.
There's a lot of games that I did not put on because they have too much theme.
It's okay.
And I tried to stretch that as...
It's okay for you to be wrong
There's
every
a
once
tiny
in a
bit
while.
of theme in here, but very, very little.
Well, that's my thing. I think you can take an abstract strategy game, slap a theme on it, and it makes it more aesthetically pleasing, in my
But
opinion.
it doesn't have a theme still. Just because it looks like a theme. If you paint a bunch of bees on your chessboard,
Yes.
it now has a theme. But it's not it's a themeless game.
Truth. However,
However,
some themes lend themselves to some mechanisms more than other ones do. So that's my thing. Theme is the one part of this that I don't mind it if there is a theme, if there is a thematic flavor to the abstract strategy game. I don't mind that at all. There is definitely a line that, in our opinion, if you cross that thematic, the amount of theme, there's a threshold there that if you cross it, it's just a strategy game now. It's not abstract strategy anymore. All right, well, that's it. Let's go ahead and get to it. This is our top 10, but only this part is our bottom 5, 10 through 6, of our abstract strategy games. Let's get to it. All right, my number 10 is a game that I no longer own, and that's the only reason it's on my 10. If I still owned this, I probably would put it higher, but I got rid of it, so I felt kind of strange putting it higher on my list. But and I think a lot of games have probably replaced it by now, which is another reason it's only my number 10. But still, I think if you can find this game, you would enjoy it, and you would not be disappointed by it. It's called Gemblow. Have you ever heard of it?
Nope. Never heard of it.
It was generally released in Korea. It was released by a Korean company, and then I believe the people who made Bloku or Blockus, they bought the rights to it.
That was on my short list, actually.
And put it over here. So, but generally, Blockus is like 3D cubes and square shapes, right?
No, it's a two-dimensional grid, but
You're
Tetris
correct. Yeah.
shapes.
It's those polyomino shapes.
Yep.
Gemblow has the same general configuration of using those polygonal shapes, but each kind of piece is a hex. So it's like a polygonal shape. As far as this a T shape, but it's all hexes.
Yeah.
And everybody starts with the same amount, and then you start from a corner of the hex board, and you're trying to place out as many of your different shaped pieces before the other person is. You can block people off. You can do all of that kind of stuff, and it's really, really fun.
Yep.
Really, really
So
fun.
Blockus.
And Blockus is fun too, but I liked Jumbo better. I think it looked better. I had a larger, like almost deluxe copy that had really chonky pieces. I loved it. I loved it. I don't even know why I got rid of it, but I really enjoyed this game. It's my number 10, Jumbo.
Nice. That's a good pick. I've never heard of Jumbo, but Blockus I still own, so I love it. All right, my number 10. I had to give some love to this game, although it did land in my number 10 because there's luck involved. There's a lot of good strategy and thought process in here, but there's luck involved because you're drawing from a bag, and this is a game called Quirkle.
Oh.
Quirkle's an awesome game where you're drawing shapes out of a bag. You have shapes in front of you that you can use, and every time you play one down, you're going to get another one, so you have multiples to pick from, but you are basically either trying to get groups that are the same color with 6 different shapes in them.
Yeah.
And you can't make a longer group. You can't have 2 of the same shape and the same color in the same line, so that you're going to have, you can do colors or shapes. That's both directions. But every time you get 6 in a row, that's a Quirkle, and that's like 15 points. But so people are blocking you, and you can't put tiles that are dissimilar together. And so you're just building this grid of tiles, one person at a time, trying to score what you get. And, if you put one down and there's 2 others like it, you get 3 points or whatever. So you're really trying not to put the 5th one down so that somebody else can get the Quirkle. And it's pretty fun. So
this has been around for a long time too.
I love Quirkle. It's super fun.
I know Jess, this is one of the few games that you can get Jess's mom to play. And they've been playing it for years. So it's a good game.
It is a good game.
It's a very good
I have
game.
the old version. My daughter actually has the deluxe version of Quirkle, which is pretty cool. But that's my number 10, Quirkle. Nice and easy, super fun.
Cool beans. All right, my number 9 clocks in at a 1.93. This is a newcomer to the list, but it's called Garento. And Garento, basically, you start with a board of different kinds of tiles that have the different elements, I believe: earth, wind, fire, and water, I think. I think it has 4 different elements. This is one of the things I was looking at, and I got tired of it. The box is actually in our car, so we took it to game night. Anyway. Garento, you're basically just trying to each different kind of tile that's on the board. You're trying to collect them and add them to your tableau, and then you're going to score points based upon how many of those that you have, and they all score differently based on different cards that are in the game. So it's not perfect information, but it's pretty stinking close. It's a really fun game. It's got great components as well. Grand Gamers Guild did a good job producing it. As far as it has those, they're not very chintzy, but they're also not super durable either. But they're plastic pieces that kind of stack well on top of each other. Each element is a different color, but they all fit on top of each other, so they stack really well. So that was a good choice. But anyway, this is a very fun game. That's my number 9, Garento.
And I don't think having variability in scoring or variability in setup or anything else, I don't think that voids the abstract part. That just gives you different methods of play.
It comes close to voiding the perfect information part, because you don't know, but it doesn't, because if I'm remembering correctly, those cards are flipped over from the beginning of the game. So you know how they're going to score, but it's variable how they're going to score from game to game.
I like that. All right, my number 9, I should just skip and let him talk about it later. I'm pretty sure this is a crossover, but it might be his number 2 or 1. Let's say that. Who knows?
Never know.
We have to check the other video. Anyways, my number 9 is a game called Onitama. In Onitama, you have a little grid. Huh? What are you shaking your head for?
I don't know.
There's no theme to this game.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Yes, there
There is
is.
zero theme to this
It's
game. It's a
two
grid.
kung fu schools
It's
with
a
their
grid of
masters
little
fighting another one.
tokens and little tokens on the other side, and you're trying to defeat them. And
It's Karate Kid themed.
oh my gosh, I have Mr. Miyagi's in there too. Mr. Miyagi Onitama. I want to see it. Anyways, in this game, you are playing down cards, or you have cards, and actually, that's the other cool thing is your cards are face down, right, or face up. So the other guy knows what you have to do as well. So not only do you know you have only 2 abilities that you can do, you know exactly what they can do next. But whatever ability you use to move your little pawns around, you have to replace with the center card, and then you take that center card. So you're giving that to the other person. Yeah. So. But I'll let Sam explain it in more detail when it comes up later, if it comes up later. But anyways, that's my number 9, Onitama. It's a really cool little game.
That might just have to be a good enough explanation.
Oh, wow.
My number 8 clocks in at a 2.24. This is my heaviest game of the list, and it is a game that actually replaced Rumus. Rumus is a game that I used to really enjoy. Pueblo, however, has replaced Rumus for me, and that is my number 8. Pueblo is a game where you have a square board, square grid, and you are going to be taking turns moving the chieftain token around the board and adding your cache of shapes. Everybody has basically the same number of shapes and the same, there are player colors, and you're going to be adding shapes to the structure, so to speak, as you move this guy around. And during a scoring round, you're going to look down, and you're going to get, I believe it's, you're going to get points, and then sometimes you're going to get negative points based upon something that I can't remember. We were talking about me not being able to remember minutia. But you're going to be scoring either positive or negative points based upon what's showing on top from a top-down perspective. But as you're moving the chieftain around, you're going to be getting possibly negative points for what he can see this direction.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
It's a really interesting puzzle, and that's one of the reasons why it kind of replaced Rumus for me, because Rumus was basically just how can you build a structure and who can build it the fastest. But with Pueblo, it's not just building the structure, it's also paying attention to what he's going to be able to see from the side and what's going to be able to be seen from the top down. On the round scoring. So I really enjoy this game a lot, and it's got that southwestern United States theme to it, where all of the Pueblos were built. So it's a really pretty looking game too. So that's my number 8, Pueblo.
Sounds like a cool game. I don't really like games where you have to have a visual perspective of the board because who knows what you're playing with. You need to put your board on one of those lazy Susans.
That's exactly what I did. I actually took my lazy Susan out of Rumus and put it in the Pueblo box, because a lazy Susan, just like it helped with Rumus, absolutely helps with Pueblo.
My number 8, hold your judgments. I'm just kidding. My number 8 is themeless. I had to say that now. From Gray Fox Games, and it's called Ragnarok.
Not themeless.
It is themeless.
It is not.
You have to move your dude somewhere on the board and then shoot off a rock. It has a theme, that's correct. But it could be
throwing a rock.
It could be cavemen, it could be Vikings, it could be red cubes and blue cubes.
Yes.
Like it could be just about anything.
You're
but Ragnarok is a nice little strategy game where you have a special ability, the other person has a special ability, but you also have basic moves. But you are basically moving one of your pawns on this hexagonal grid, and then from that pawn's location, you're firing off a rock or a block, a wall, whatever you want to call it, a crystal, and you're setting on another hex, and it will never move that crystal unless somebody's special ability might move it. But and you're just trying to block in, really you're trying to block in your guys in the biggest open areas so that you can count all the hexes in the area and when you have a Viking in there by himself. And that's it. I mean, it's a very quick, very smooth little puzzle.
Yes.
And it's really cool. So,
absolutely. Totally
all
agree.
I gotta say.
It's the same designer as Santorini.
Santorini,
So
yep.
if you like that design space,
Yep.
you'll probably like Ragnarok's. The only real difference, I think, as far as how it feels, is that Ragnarok's is very two-dimensional, and Santorini is three-dimensional.
Yep.
So that's the main difference between those two games. But it's by the same designer, so he had a lot of same design space choices in
So
there.
my number 8, Ragnarok's / Santorini.
Yeah,
In lowercase.
sure.
No, I'm just kidding. There you go.
Lowercase. All right, my number 7 is a game about koi ponds and building your own koi pond. That's the theme. But generally speaking, beyond that, it's an abstract strategy game, wanting to place the right tiles in the right spaces so that you can score the most points with them. And this is called Kohaku. If you were able to get a hold of one of the deluxe copies of the game, you have acrylic tiles that are actually clear, that have the elements that they represent printed on one side, and it's clear on the other side. It looks really good. I do not have the deluxe copy. I only have the cardboard stuff. Still looks good. Has some of that glossy, where some of the, I don't remember what you call it, but like
foil surface or whatever.
yeah, it's not
like
really foil, but it's just like shiny.
Yep.
But it has those surfaces, so it still looks really good, but the acrylic tiles are a lot better. But this one is really cool as well because you have a grid of tiles that you can choose from. And you have to take one on the outside and one on the inside. And you also have to take a koi fish tile and then an element tile. So you can't choose like 2 koi fish tiles. And when you place them into your tableau, you also have to use that checkered pattern of placing, like you can't place two koi fish tiles next to each other. So it's a really fun abstract puzzle. And you're basically just trying to get your tiles to multiply and score points better than your opponent.
Yeah.
That is number 7, Kohaku.
Nice. I think that's a good pick. Just because a game has a theme painted on it so that it looks nice.
Sure.
That's different. But
Yep.
yeah, I think that's a great pick. All right, my number 7 is an Uwe Rosenberg game, and I know that there's newer versions of this game, but I like this one the best. And this one's called Nova Luna.
Ooh.
In Nova Luna, you have a round board with tiles all the way around it, and those tiles have different scoring requirements, like it might need to have 3 red tiles next to it and a yellow tile next to it or something like that. You start out with 20 discs, and you are legitimately just drafting tiles, placing them out. As soon as that disc's requirements are met, you get to put one of your tokens on it. Whoever gets rid of their 20 tokens first wins. And it's just really fun because there's a lot of puzzle in, well, if I can get this tile stuck in there, and just all those kind of things. So
Yep.
it's a really nice puzzle, and I really like, and the reason I like this one better than Framework is because it has this central board, and depending on the number on the tile, so some of the tiles are better and they'll have a higher number, but it'll also make you move further around the board to pick it. Whoever's in the back gets to play first. Yeah. So if somebody moves up 5 and you are back here and you only pick up a 2 tile, then you get to pick up again. You pick up another 2 tile, you get to pick up again until you pass their token. You get to keep on picking. So sometimes getting those big tiles is, you have to really want them. So there's just a lot of thought process there. And it's a really fun game. So
That's cool. I like that mechanism of the person who's in last picks first.
Yeah, me too.
I like that a lot.
Me too. And they got rid of that in Framework, so you just pick back and forth.
Yeah. All right, last one for me for this segment is my number 6, and this is really a tile laying game. That's really what it is, but there are no tiles. They're all cards, and the cards generally have 2 sides on them, and you're going to be placing them into your tableau and building out your coffee industry tableau, and this is called Cafe. And the reason, now, I do believe that the theme works very well with this game, but what you're doing is you're just putting different cards, they're almost like domino cards, in the right patterns in your tableau so that you can use them to, first of all, grow the coffee beans, then roast the coffee beans, then sell the coffee beans.
He's already added
and all
too
that
much
kind of
theme
stuff.
to it.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It works really well, don't get me wrong, but you're really just building out your tableau in as an efficient manner as possible so that you can accomplish all the things you need to do.
Because it's a multi-step process, you have to put the beans down, and you have to grow the beans, and you have to grind the beans, and you have to make the coffee. Without the theme, it doesn't work. That's my opinion. But
It could.
it's all right. It's a good game. It's a really cool game.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, it could be anything. It could be literally these things turn into this, and then this turns into that, and then this turns into that. That's all it is. That's all you're doing.
And that's fine.
That's my number 6.
It works much better.
Hey, by Pythagoras.
Yeah, that's a
Great
very cool game. All right. We don't have to agree. Only at least 20% of the time.
That's right.
Okay, or at least 1 out of 10. I know 1 out of 10 is going to pop up there, I think. But anyways,
I don't know.
my number 6 is, I wish I would put the age of this game because it's only a few years old, but I really still like this game. There's a few games that have come out and kind of mirrored it in different ways. One of them I won't mention that came out last year, which I think this is a better game. But this is a game called Reef from Emerson Matsuuchi. In Reef, you are on your turn, you have cards in your hand. You are drawing a card, and when you draw a card, you get to take the 2 symbols that are on the card and place them on your little board. You have a little, I don't know if it's 5x5 or 4x4 right off the top of my head, but you have this little grid, and it has all these, you put these little different colored tokens on it. And when you place those tokens on there, you can also score whatever's on the bottom of it. So if it says you need 3 blues in a row, you're looking from the top down to see 3 blues in a row. So you might get a yellow and a white off of the top part of it, and then you can score 3 blues in a row. So you got to figure out where to put the yellow and the white, and then if you have any 3 blues, you get points, and then that card goes away. Yep. Excuse me, you can either pick up a card or you can play a card to score. So, but those stacks will go 4 high, and anything underneath on the stack is now dead, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't count anymore. So, but you're continually trying to manipulate this puzzle as it grows with different colors and different cards in your hand so that you can play the right ones down, get the right pieces, score as much as you can, and continue to morph that puzzle, which I really like. So, anyways, that's my number 6.
That's cool.
Reef.
That's
a really
good.
fun game. So.
That's good. All right. Well, that is our bottom 5. That is to say our numbers 10 through 6. You already know that because you watched the rest of the video of our top 10 abstract strategy games. You can go right now over to the Flipside. That's where we usually put up most of our content, and you can check out our top 5 abstract strategy games right now. It's ready to go for you. Just click right on over. There's a description. There's a link in the description below, and that'll get you there. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side.
Put some comments down below, and we'll see you later.
Talk to you soon.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.